Hello everyone and welcome back to Project Ozone 3. Mythic Mode. In the last episode, we rebuilt our oil refining setup and replaced it with the magnetic craft version, which is just a lot faster and a lot better. Seems like our current bottleneck is that we're not getting crude oil fast enough. But I mean, even then, look at how much LPG we've already stocked up. And actually, we're full on plastic now. So yeah, this setup over here was definitely worth it. In between the episodes, I've been making some minor upgrades, just like over here at the cobblestone farm. I switched to industrial for going breakers and placers, just because they don't make as much noise. And I also have a little redstone circuit here, so that whenever we're full on cobblestone, this thing stops making any noise completely. I've also went ahead and made myself a meat feeder, which we can fuel by the large amount of liquid meat that we have. And this just basically keeps me saturated at all times, instead of having to eat the various foods that I've been eating so far. Oh yeah, and finally, I also went ahead and moved all of Astral Sorcery to its permanent location. So over here, we have passive starlight production. I'm fueling it with aquamarines, which we have seeds for. Right next to it, we have the starlight infuser. And then if we take these stairs up here, which still need a little bit of aesthetic work, we can go up to our iridescent altar. Oh, and opposite that, we have the telescope. And yeah, with that, I think we no longer have any temporary setups left in the base. Oh, I guess we still have blood magic to fix. Well, we're gonna deal with that when the time comes. Maybe today, maybe not, I don't know. Anyways, I think today is the day that we unlock the Philosopher's Stone. I'm literally not releasing this video until I have it. And to be honest, we don't actually have that much stuff left to do. So if you guys remember last episode, we pretty much dealt with every singularity other than these three last ones here. And as I said, I did also go ahead and AFK overnight for stellar alloy and crystalline pink slime. Although if you look at the resources, we only have 1,000 nether stars, and even worse, only 500 pink slime ingots, and we need 9,000. Both of those issues basically boil down to us not having enough wither skeleton skulls, and our pink slime generation is just absolutely garbage. Thankfully, I do have a plan to kill two birds with one stone. If we just go ahead and grab a couple of these wither skeletons, which we will then turn into spawners. And I think just next to the already existing pink slime farm, we'll build another platform here. And now for the spawners themselves, I will be placing these a little bit higher up. Yeah, this level over here should work. Although because these things take 32,000 RF to actually work, we're gonna have to lay them kind of like this with two specter coils. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. What? Oh, come on. Well, that kind of sucks, but we'll recover. Anyways, coming back to this. So what I want to happen is for the skeletons to drop down into this mob masher, and I'll direct them using some vector plates. We'll also want to give the mob masher some upgrades, especially beheading. Oh yeah, and we'll want to send all the loot into our mob farm. So there's an ender chest for that. So yeah, that's step one complete. This will definitely help with the skulls. You know, it would help a lot better if I actually turned on the mob masher. This should do the trick. So now that we've got the skulls, we still have to fix our pink slime issue. And for that, I'm gonna get another mob slaughter factory. And I'll go ahead and place this a few blocks below the spawners. We'll give it a range add-on and some upgrades. And now the hope is that some of the wither skeletons are going to be killed by the slaughter factory, and then the rest are going to fall down to make us more skulls. I think I'll go ahead and add 5 more spawners. One of those spawners is going to go to another wither skeleton, but for the rest, we just want mobs that can spawn really fast. So I have one for like zombies, which has a cost multiplier of 1. Yeah, look at that. This thing only consumes 1600 RF, which is good. That means it'll spawn faster than the wither skeletons, and hopefully the mob slaughter factory will prioritize it. Let's do the same for some other spawners. I have some random spawners here like skeletons. Oh, and I have this one for abyssal zombies for some reason. Yeah, it doesn't matter what mob we choose. It just matters that there is a constant stream of mobs. We can also just stack these ones on top of each other because they don't need a double specter coil. You know what? I think I'll even add 2 more slaughter factories just to help speed up the process. And just look at how many mobs are flowing through. I'm hoping the pink slime singularity won't take us long now. Yeah, the rate of pink slime is certainly a lot better. But yeah, it's definitely still gonna take a while. And double checking on the skulls. We are actually gaining them now. And we'll probably have enough nether stars in just a couple hours. Alright, now moving on, I want to actually start working on the awakened draconium and actually be able to craft this. I did take some time in between the episodes to prepare all the draconic cores we're gonna need for this. I crafted myself up 57 of them, and that certainly wasn't cheap. I mean, you need an ultimate control circuit per. So now if we look at this recipe, we need actually 7 pedestals, but they have to be at wyvern tier. And to upgrade them to wyvern tier, you actually need 8 of them. So we're gonna want to have 8 of these injectors, and it does take a wyvern core each, which is 4 draconic cores. We need 8, which should be half a stack. I am missing some more silicon. God damn it. Okay, yeah, 1,000 should last a while. Let's try this again. 8 more of these, which is cheap enough. Oh, it's actually already done. That was so fast. Oh my goodness. And then you need 2 draconic cores for each injector. The rest of the materials are just draconium and diamonds, which is not going to be an issue. I think I'll go ahead and set this up actually next to our ender crafter. Okay, and there we go. I had to lower the ground a little bit, but I think the space works pretty well. And I think we'll automate the fusion crafting just like anybody else does with a little bit of lasers. And for now, I'm just going to continue powering these with some specter coils coils, although this is definitely not enough power transfer. We'll go ahead and place the interface right there, connect that to an item interface, and then an item laser relay. We connect the lasers up here and then to the side, and we'll just use some item conduits to send the outputs back. I'll also go ahead and use a redstone conduit with a redstone timer filter, and then set the input to the output like that. So yeah, every second this will get pulsed, and that will automatically activate the craft when all the ingredients are in the pedestals. And for now, I'm just going to upgrade them manually. And nice, we're starting to craft. Now I'll just have to break one, replace it like that, give it the diamonds again, and then upgrade the next one. And I'll keep doing this until all the pedestals are upgraded. And just like that, everything is wyvern now. Oh yeah, and before I forget, let's also set the priority to 1 on the middle laser. Alright, now I'm going to set up a pattern. And actually, that seems pretty accurate. We'll drop that into the draconic fusion crafting. And let's say we want just one of these for now. And this has taken a little bit too long, so I'm going to get a basic tier installer to upgrade the infusing factory. And for some reason, the craft is not starting. Oh, actually, I know why. We need to set these to single item mode. Awesome. Alright. So now, if we try to request the rest, we will actually not be missing anything. Just some dragon hearts and red out. That's just a buffer issue. That's all thanks to what some of you have already noticed, which is all the pre-crafting of the capacitors that I did. In total, we need 9,000. And in between the episodes, while I was AFKing, I set off some crafts for like 7,000 here is what we have. But I think we can get the other 1,400 that we're missing. Yeah, let's start that up. Now, as usual, I did run into some issues with the pressure chamber when I was crafting the thousands of capacitors. And the problem was that the pressure chamber would get full of items and it would no longer have any space to actually craft the capacitors and then output them. So it would just be stuck like that. And I found out that the reason was because we were actually running out of pressure. It's not really a problem when you're making like 1 stack of capacitors, 2 stacks at a time. But when you're crafting a batch of 3,000, then the system is just not going to cope with that well. The way that I fixed it is right below the pressure chamber valve, I stuck a pressure gauge tube module, which outputs a signal based on how much pressure there is. And we're sending that to a redstone transmitter, which takes the signal up here. We compare it for a redstone signal of 4, which equates to around 2 bars of pressure, which is plenty for crafting the capacitors. And that signal actually comes down to the translocator that inserts items. If you stick a piece of redstone on it, then it actually becomes redstone activated. So if there's a signal, it turns on, and if there isn't, then it turns off, which is convenient for this. And I pretty much haven't had any issues since. Ooh, and I was just claiming the quest rewards. And the quest for draconic gores gives us 16 more, and the wyvern one also gives us another 8. That's pretty nice. So yeah, we're missing a couple hundred dragon hearts. And yeah, we should also start producing some metaxium. I still also have to deal with fiery metal. I just need to kill a few more bosses in the Twilight Forest, so that shouldn't be that bad, but let's focus on these 2 first. And actually, all 3 of these resources could just be fixed with a woot mob farm, although that does mean I'm gonna have to respawn the ender dragon, and I'm just missing some blank runes for that. Although I think instead of self-sacrificing, we're gonna go ahead and get ourselves an infused lava sword, and if we dip this in a little bit of our blood, yes, that gives us the dagger of sacrifice. This lets us one-shot nearby mobs, and in return we get some blood. The amount that we get actually scales with the health of the mob, so I'm gonna use dread guards for that, since we already have a spawner for him, and they do have a significant amount of health. And yeah, look at that, the blood altar is full. And you know what, let me also go ahead and improve our blood magic area. Yeah, it's been like this for way too many episodes by now. Let me design something here and then we'll be right back. And there we have it. So this is the current plan for blood magic. We're gonna have 2 blood altars. This one on the right is only gonna be tier 4, and the one on the left is the one that we're gonna be taking all the way to tier 6. Because this altar here is actually gonna be our crafting altar, and also where we generate blood. So that's why we need the higher tiers. And this one over here is just gonna be to fill the blood orb. So I mean, tier 4 is probably an overkill for this anyway, but that's the current plan right now. Oh yeah, and down this middle path, I have some space here for any extra things from blood magic, like the alchemy tables or the hellfire forges. If we ever need them, we'll place them here. But yeah, anyways, let me go ahead and rebuild our slate automation. We'll also go ahead and bring the spawner, and I think I do want to have an area where we can funnel all of the dread guards into, and I can just stand here and whack them with the sacrificial dagger to get lots of blood very quickly. And for this setup, we'll use entity conveyors to funnel the mobs down. There we go. So now if we turn on the spawner, nice. And is it in range? Okay, there we go. I got it to work. I just added some more conveyors that take it closer to the altar. And I think for this, I will be trashing everything except for grave dust, actually. This is something that we'll need later for impregnated diamonds, which we need for crystalline. And so if I'm going to be farming a bunch of mobs, I might as well also collect some of that. So now let me turn on the spawner again. And I'm just going to AFK here while killing these mobs. An auto clicker will definitely help with this, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And with a little AFKing later, we actually have plenty of slates here. Ooh, and by the way, just as a side note, I did go ahead and find a way to automate the Lordic Stone. Instead of having a timer, we just have a mechanical user to toggle on and off the lever. And this right here is an on and off switch, and you can see it actually works without crashing the game. I can also give it some speed upgrades to make it go faster. Oh yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, that'll be nice to have once we start needing more runes. And because I want to start auto-crafting blank runes, I'm gonna add a recipe here to the crafter that we have. And if I just switch the blood ore that it's using to the one that's bound to me, that should work like normal. Oh yeah, that definitely worked. Nice. And I think now I'm gonna want to start speeding up the altar. So we'll get a couple speed, maybe 8 speed runes should do the trick. I also want some more runes of capacity, but I don't have any more imbued slates. So I'm gonna try and make half a stack. Okay, there we... Oh, wait. These are reinforced. Hold up. I mean, I guess I can still use these for runes of sacrifice. Let's actually grab a couple. 9 of them should be good. We should now get plenty more blood per sacrifice. Oh, yeah, that right there was like 4 buckets. Okay, nice. There we go. And we can get 9 runes of capacity. That should be good. I did plop down the one that we already had, so we should have 10 in total. And let's see. We can now hold 30 buckets. That's pretty good. And yeah, so now our blood magic setup isn't as garbage as it used to be. So with that massive tangent out of the way, let's now try and request 4 end crystals. And now we can respawn the dragon. Just as a quick reminder, we're doing this so that we can program an ender shard and be able to farm more dragon hearts easily. Nice, there we go. Now I just have to kill it. Ooh, and one more dragon egg to our name. I don't know why it keeps spawning in this block instead of on top here. We can turn this into a controller, and this is another tier 4 mob farm. So let me get the materials for that real quick. Okay, so the factory controller goes there. Then we'll want the usual importer, exporter, power cell. Actually, let me remove this trash can before I accidentally trash the stuff. I think I'm just gonna stick a vacuum chest like that, and then we'll trash what comes in this. I'm hoping that way if I drop anything here, it won't get trashed, like some other things that I will not be disclosing. Oh, and it looks like we do need to feed this thing some end crystals for it to actually work. Well, in that case, let's get another wireless connector. Absolutely loving these. And instead of doing this on passive, I think we're just gonna set up an on-demand recipe, which will put the stuff in the chest, and then that should go to the importer. We'll say 4 end crystals equals a dragon heart and a dragon egg as a byproduct. Oh, and I guess since we're doing a pattern, we can't really send it back to the mob farm. Well, in that case, I'm gonna take away this wireless connector, place down an interface on the exporter, and I guess the wireless connector can go here. That should work. Let's hide this thing from the interface terminal. Okay, so let's try and request a heart, and we're missing a couple things. Lunar reactive dust and borer essence. I'm pretty sure that's for the carbonite. Thankfully, we did pick up a tower with borer, and I think you already know what that means. Another spawner to add to the collection. And let's turn this bad boy on. Oh yeah, by the way, before I forget, I did also notice for the wither skeleton spawners, I can just put the specter coils on the side instead of having them in that weird configuration. So now we have like a nice tower of spawners. Oh yeah, and we have to filter borer essence into the mob farm. Oh, and I'll even give this guy a melodic capacitor. That should make him run fast enough. And a little time later, I think now we can request a few of these hearts. Oh yeah, we're still missing lunar reactive dust. We do actually have a recipe in the resonator if we just use lapis. But even then, I think pulverizing lunar ingots, which we get from lunar dust, I still have a bunch of this left over. This option will probably be a little bit faster. So now if we want 10 more of these hearts, we can easily do it. Nice. So actually now let's try and request the awakened draconium, and all we're missing is 3,000 blank slates, some more nether stars that'll build up, borer essence that'll build up, redstone alloy, I need some more buffer, lunar dust, I guess I'll go mining for that, and gas tears. Gas tears is an easy fix. We have this recipe with catalyzing glands, and we get this from the mob farm. I have just now a couple minutes ago increased the buffer, so that should also just build up. Yeah, we're only missing 2,000. Some AFK will fix that. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna take out some more redstone alloy and let this thing buffer up again, and while that happens, I'm gonna mine for some more lunar ore. Okay, now I'm gonna start cooking up all the inscription tiles that we're gonna need. We'll need 4,000 of these, which means I'm gonna need 500 mana infused dust. So it's actually not that much. Okay, there we go. That's all done. And yeah, I might as well have a pattern here for the slates, which I will put in the manual crafts for now. So now if you request the awakened draconium, okay, we're missing catalyzing glands. That's fine, but that's pretty much it actually. Oh, and a little bit of redstone alloy, but I had that in the backpack. We are also missing like 1,000 transistors, so I might as well get those cooking right now. This is actually such a cheap craft. Oh my goodness. Yeah, only a couple hundred ingredients. Oh my goodness, finally. Okay, so I'm back here in the Twilight Forest, and I just now finally found another Hydra spot. Yep, there we go. Now I just have to kill him. I'm trying to program the Ender Shard, which I think I just did, right? Why did that not get programmed? Well, I was about to say, just look at how much exploring I've been doing to try and find another Hydra. And I had to come all the way down here. But apparently that did not count. I don't know why. Maybe I have to kill it with melee? Which means I'm gonna have to find another one. God damn it. Well, the reason I'm trying to get the ender shard is so that I can farm more of this fiery blood. Because as you guys remember, I'm still missing a couple pieces here. So I can get the seed and finish out the singularity. But that kind of sucks that this shard didn't get programmed. Oh, there's another Hydra tower. Anyways, yeah, I realized that to get the shard, we have to actually hit the body. We should see this say Hydra, yes. The previous shard used to say Hydra head. But now if we kill him, yeah, there we go. Alright, let's turn this into the controller. And I'm gonna temporarily hijack the wither farm since it's already fully upgraded. Oh, look at that, it's already running. Yeah, we're getting all the drops. I have to filter them into the mob farm. Oh, we're already up to almost 400 blood. Okay, yeah, let's switch this back to wither. Nice, so that's one more singularity off the list. And now that that's dealt with, I think we literally only have Ithaxium left before I can just go AFK and wait for the resources to build up. And I do have a plan for that. We are gonna have to progress a little bit more into Abyssal Craft, but it's not too bad. We just need to defeat the next boss, which is gonna need these two ingredients. Let's see how expensive they are. So actually for both of these parts, we're gonna need 20,000 PE. I only have the one Dreadlands Necronomicon, so I think after this, I am gonna upgrade the second one here. But we can at least get the first part of this. Oh, and this actually has to be done in the Dreadlands. We'll set up a little ritual. No particles again. I have no idea why they keep glitching out, but there we go. Anyways, let me now upgrade the second Necronomicon. Okay, and there we go. In both of these Necronomicons, we have a combined total of 20,000 PE. I've been just doing a little bit of chores. I upgraded the sacrificial altars, as you saw, and I also added the missing upgrades on our Ender Dragon farm. Speaking of which, I should probably get a couple of these Dragon Hearts going. Yeah, just while we wait for some things. Alright, I already laid out the ritual. We should be able to just craft it. No particles as usual. What? I didn't get anything. Why did my items get voided? I mean, it's cheap enough to replace the items. It's just that I have no clue what went wrong with that. And unfortunately, now I have to wait a little bit more. Alright, and after a little bit of AFK, we now have 20,000 PE. While I was waiting, I did start up some of the stellar alloy blocks. We're at 400. And yeah, we're almost there. We don't have that many nether stars left. So there's that. Anyways, let's get this craft restarted. Ooh, there we go. Alright, now I have to find the Dreadlands mountain biome. Oh, this should be it. And now I need to dig down to Y level 40. Dig ourselves a little space. And yeah, we just placed the altars. Oh, there we go. Ooh, and this is the room with the crystallizer. Oh, although I guess we could have crafted this before. And somewhere down here should be the boss fight. Yeah. I was not expecting that. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was so much stuff that happened at the same time. What? Let's see. Can I cheese you like this? Oh, yeah, I definitely can. Another case of just holding right click. And there we go. Cool, let's also grab our treasure. Oh yeah, and we also got the key, which we just need to transmute. Thankfully, we have the guy for that. And there we go. And so if we use the key in the Dreadlands, we get Almathal. Let's hop in. Ooh, hello. And yeah, this is exactly what we need. Do you mind? Yeah, this is Ithaxium. Oh, but we literally can't mine this. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. We don't care about these Ithaxium bricks. Instead, oh, hello. What? I don't know why the loot is all over the place. I will definitely be taking these statues, though. They're going to be useful for the quests that I didn't pick up. Yeah, for this one, which unlocks the sacrifice. Come on! That's like the 4th time I've died today. Ooh, I might as well also try and upgrade the Necronomicon while I'm here. So yeah, while we don't care about the Ithaxium bricks, there's actually a mob that drops straight Ithaxium. Although I don't think it's this one. Let's check. Yeah, no, he just dropped some Elder Scales. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade one of the Necronomicons. And yeah, now we have the progression tab of Almathal unlocked. Ooh, it actually gives us some coordinates here. I'm not sure if these are still accurate to this pack, but it wouldn't hurt checking them out, although I am several thousand blocks away from it. Oh, I think I found it. Aha, and this is the mod that we're looking for, Minion of the Gatekeeper. And actually, after some second thoughts, I'm not going to be making a powered spawner for him. Instead, I'll make an ender shard for this guy. Yeah, we'll be making a wood mob farm for this, because I think I've seen somewhere that it's much, much faster than a traditional spawner. Do I want to defeat the boss right now is the question, though, or should I just go back and set up the farm? Actually, I think this is a pretty difficult boss fight, and I'm definitely not equipped for this. I have no armor, no preparation at all. So I think we'll leave this for a later time. For now, I'll mark it on the map, and then we can come back later to this. You know what's funny? I was actually planning on making a third wood mob farm and placing it on this layer, but the pink slime mob farm is currently occupying this space. Okay, the thing is, Ithaxium has EMC, right? So this is a temporary farm. I might as well just replace the Ender Dragon guy and just farm this for a little bit. Yeah, every 4 seconds, we're spawning 6 of them guys. We'll filter in the Elder Scales and the Ithaxium. And actually, yeah, that's about all that we want to filter. And now instead of sending the outputs to our interface, we'll send it to the Ender chest. And I'll leave the dragon controller here to remind me to place it back. Now, even though this is supposedly faster than powered spawners, we are still only at 100 ingots so far, though. It does seem to be slow. But I guess it doesn't really matter since I'm still waiting for stellar alloy and nether stars, and I'm also still waiting for pink slime. Oh yeah, and I guess we can also start requesting some fiery metal. I mean, other than that, we're pretty much done. All I need to do now is wait a bunch. Oh, I guess I can start working on the blank slates noticed that I still need to craft for the dragon hearts, and we don't have any more CPUs. Why is that? Oh, right, I crafted another 1000 capacitors just because I wanted to see this number at 10,000, but I guess we don't really need that craft. Okay, yeah, so I think we needed like 4,000 slates. I'll just make that many, and hopefully the next time I see you, it might actually be Philosopher's Stone time. Hello. It is currently the next day for me, and you should be pleased to know that Stellar Alloy is cooking right now. I did get enough blocks for this. Yeah, it's down here, it's still crafting, but it'll be done. And Awakened Draconium finished all the Draconic cores, but it still needs a couple more Dragon Hearts. And I actually realized that's because Dragon Hearts only have an 80% chance to drop. So literally like 20 minutes ago when I woke up, I added some more End Crystals. I crafted these real quick. And so hopefully that should be enough to get us the rest. Anyways, there have been a few more developments and upgrades that I've made to the base in between clips. First of all, at this very laggy mob farm, I added 3 more slaughter factories, which definitely helps with our pink slime generation. And I also went ahead and made every single spawner here have a melodic capacitor. And I think I even added a couple more. Oh yeah, I added this guy, the magma crawler. He gives us magma crawler eyes, which we need for mob duplicators, and I think we need these at some point. Yeah, so I thought we might as well have them now. Oh, you can hear the Awakened Draconium crafting. Hello. Yeah, nice. Yeah, actually, what's funny about this is that it only started crafting today, the Awakened Draconium blocks, because I had all of these pedestals set on multiple item modes. So this thing was literally inactive all night, which means I'm still gonna have to wait a while for it to build up. But I mean, that's fine, because I also still have to wait for pink slime. We're only at 5,400 of this. Anyways, the second thing that I did is actually upgrade the way that we're handling our meat feeder. It's just the one bottleneck with it is that it empties way too fast. Every like half hour or so, I'd have to come down here and refill it manually, which sucks, especially if I'm in a different dimension and can't really just leave and come back. So then I'd have to go back to resorting to our apples. But this setup over here fixes it. So what I have here is a player chest, which can access the player's inventory. Unfortunately, this can't detect bubble slots, but I'm given full access to that slot and then extracting an advanced item filter, which blacklists a full meat feeder. That then goes to the fluid transposer, which fills it with some liquid meat, and then it gets output back into my inventory. And so if I damage myself real quick, you'll see that it feeds me a little bit, gets extracted, refills, and so now it always stays full. And the last thing I did is actually upgrade our red alloy production. So I gave the crafter a melodic capacitor, which crafts 1 item per tick, and then we also have a zenith furnace, which smelts 1 item per tick. The redstone supply was at like 6 million yesterday, and when I made the upgrade, it dropped down to like 1 million in just a couple of hours. So I did add this level emitter to keep in stock a little bit of redstone. It has filled up the buffer now, so it's not that big of a problem anymore. Ooh, and there we go, the stellar singularity is done. And yeah, now we're literally only missing the 2 singularities, Awakened Draconium and Crystalline Pink Slime, which are gonna take a few more hours of waiting. Oh my goodness, it's time. So we're already done with Awakened Draconium, and for the Crystalline Pink Slime, we're only missing 50 blocks, which I can go ahead and request right now. Oh, this is so exciting. You guys have absolutely no idea how excited I am for this. We are approaching 190 hours, so almost 200 hours of playtime. And I started this episode at like maybe less than 150. Oh, and ignore these sag mills. But yeah, oh my goodness, this took so much time. Anyways, while that cooks up, I do want to talk about a couple things. So first of all, as you can see, we are quickly running out of storage. I don't know why that is. Actually, earlier, both of these drives were more or less all red. So I did go ahead and craft myself a third one, and I stuck some 16Ks onto this. This won't be a problem for long since storage components actually have EMC. So once we have that unlocked, I'll replace all of these with probably 256Ks. Another thing is that I made a second ultimate crafting table. And obviously, as you can see, I put in the recipe for the Philosopher's Stone. And last but not least is I've been spamming a few more Terrasteel seeds. I think I did this actually 2 days ago. And that's because I noticed that Terrasteel has a lot of EMC. If we look at emeralds, it's only 16,000 compared to Terrasteel's 71,000. And so I've been just letting that cook and periodically crafting like 40,000. Okay, maybe not 40,000, but like I can get like another 10,000 blocks of this. And each block is 600,000 EMC. So it's going to be a good fuel. And actually, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. We are 6 blocks away. Oh my goodness. All right, the last one. There we go. Oh my goodness. Finally, put this in the singularity machine. This deserves a screenshot. I present to you the ultimate singularity. And with that, we can grab the Philosopher's Stone. We can clear all these storage monitors. We don't need those anymore. And now our EMC journey can truly start. So you know what? I was going to end the episode off here, leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger, but I've still got plenty of time before I need to release this episode. So let's try and at least either craft the energy condenser or the transmutation table. Other than the matters, which now we can actually craft, this doesn't look too bad. And the transmutation table too. Okay, so after some double checking, it's much better to go for the transmutation table. All because of this insanium ingot requirement. If you look at the energy condenser, you actually need 4 blocks of this, which is 9 ingots each, which is 4 Gaia spirits each. And obviously you still need all the previous tiers of ingots. Ooh, which needs Lordcraft. That's fun. But if you look at the transmutation table, you only need 8 ingots. The rest of this stuff is literally so easy. Matter of fact, I could probably get it right now. Yeah, there's the stellar capacitors. For whatever reason, we also need 5x compressed dust, which is 59,000 dust in each block. So I'll go ahead and put a drawer here, and we'll set the insert on brown with a higher priority. Yep, that's filling the drawer now. And yeah, hopefully once we're back later, it should be done. We also need a few end steel blocks. And you know what? Let me go ahead and just fetch the rest of these items real quick, and then we'll be right back. Oh yeah, and just as a side note while I'm making these matters right now, if you decide to go with the energy condenser, then your Philosopher's Stone will not get consumed. But the transmutation table actually needs the inert version here, which does get consumed in the recipe. Now, from what I've seen, I don't actually think you need the Philosopher's Stone for anything other than these alchemical coal, like Mobius fuel and Aeternalis fuel. And they all have EMC. So I'm going to go ahead and keep a stock of 1 stack right here, and I'm not going to touch it. So yeah, that way, hopefully we won't ever need the Philosopher's Stone ever again, because yeah, I'll be able to dupe these with EMC later. At least that's the hope. If anything goes wrong, then we might be a little bit screwed. And you know what? I just put that possibility in my head, so I'm going to go ahead and start a backup right now. Anyways, let me get back to material collection. I'm in the middle of making these draconic injectors because you also need them. But I only need 2, which is not that bad. Alright, so while I'm waiting for some other things to craft, I decided I might as well also just kill some Gaia spirits, because we are still missing 32 Gaia ingots here. So far, I can only fight him 7 times. But before I do that, let me get a little bit more armor. The titanium set seems to be cheap enough. And also for that phase where he starts spawning a bunch of mobs, I'll get a mob crusher here. This is so fun. What the hell? God damn it, I overdid it and I avoided the ingot. Alright, and this should be the last boss fight. There we go. 32 Gaia spirits with 2 ingots to spare. So yeah, in between the clips, I went ahead and made myself a flux-infused quiver and a flux-infused bow. I saw this somewhere in the Discord, and apparently if you get like multi-shot 10 and power 10, then you can actually one-shot the Gaia. I didn't feel like making all that stuff though right now, so I just went with power shot 4 and power 5, which still makes quick work of the Gaia boss fight, so it's not even too bad. Anyways, let's request the, and we're missing neutral steel. Out of all the things that I could be missing right now, neutral steel becomes the problem. Actually, that's probably because I was cooking some neutral steel of the 7th degree earlier, because we need it in the recipe. It goes right here. And yeah, as you can tell, I'm making great progress. Anyways, let me keep myself busy with some more crafting. Ooh, nice, we can get the insanium now. It looks like our compressed dust is also probably done. I hope I can actually transfer this to a compacting drawer. Yeah, nice. Oh yeah, we should have plenty for this. Actually, I lied, we only have enough for 1 5x. Well, that kind of sucks, but it's fine. I'm waiting on other stuff anyway. And I think by now, all we're missing is the matters. So I went ahead and set up myself a crafter here. I also have an interface on the back here supplying the patterns. And I have an interface down there with the translocator so that we can put the stuff back in the system. Now, hopefully we should be able to request our first dark matter. And also, fun fact, it needs supremium coal. 4 of them for each one. Thankfully, we're swimming in supremium because of our wither farm. But because this needs the previous tiers, we will need a bunch of essence. So maybe it would have been a better idea to go for the energy condenser after all, because it doesn't need that much dark matter. While the transmutation table needs 16 blocks, so 1 stack, and then you still need magenta and pink matter. Oh, and even purple. You know what? I'm just gonna encode the patterns, and let's hope the damage is not that bad. Okay, 1 stack of dark matter. Go, and okay. Could we at least get the purple matter? No, because that's even worse, actually. Well, I didn't want to have to do this. Like, seriously, I would have rather done anything else. I don't want to do this. But if we want to actually get these 4 purple matters in a reasonable amount of time, I had to resort to some more machine spam. So, I mean, yeah, back here we have 32 more magma crucible for gelid cryotheum. And then on this side, we have only 16 for tectonic petrotheum. It's literally the same setup as these ones. And I've also added more fluid transposers for the 2nd and 3rd degree, while also increasing their buffers. Because it looks like for the craft, we need about 50,000 of the 2nd degree and only like 10,000 of the 3rd degree. So I'm gonna stock 16,000 of the 3rd degree and 65,000 of the 2nd. It is about bedtime for me, so I guess I'll just leave this running overnight again for the 3rd time, and hopefully by the morning we'll have enough of this. I'm just hoping the draconium supply is gonna survive this. Well, anyways, see you in the morning. Alright, so it's the next day for me, and it looks like we have plenty of neutral steel, although we don't actually have enough of the first degree, but I have just been given like the best tip ever. If we get ourselves a void ring here, I think this makes dark matter from pretty much any item that has EMC, and this actually is super cheap, only 2 red matters and 2 dark matters. So I mean, compared to the recipe that we were just about to make, this is nothing. So let's get ourselves the black hole band. I think this is just like a fancy magnet. Yeah, see, it pulls items towards you. Okay, now let's get 2 red matter. And there we go. Although, before I do this, hold up. Because it consumes pretty much any item that has EMC, I'm gonna make sure to remove everything from my inventory first. Yeah, okay, now we should be able to craft it. Oh, and right now it's targeting iron ingots for EMC. I guess, okay, so we can set the target at least. Which is nice because I have blocks of terra steel. I mentioned this earlier, I think. Okay, actually, I get it now. The target is what it's actually gonna create. So we're gonna say dark matter. And then we right click and we set a whitelist for terra steel. Shift right click to toggle. Oh, I figured it out. Okay, so I think there's only a few items that it can actually use for EMC. Terra steel is not included, but we can use diamonds. Awesome, we're already up to 300 dark matter. Ooh, and I was wrong. Terra steel can be used for EMC, but you have to use the ingots, not the blocks. Okay, and that is just absolutely insane. Look at how much dark matter that is. 1,000? Oh, I am so glad I found out about this tip. Let's see the purple matter. Oh yeah, that is cheap. What the hell? Yeah, who knew once you have dark matter, this matter doesn't matter. That was a weird sentence. By the way, I do want to pick up enough stuff for all the quests. So with the dust on the outside and an inert philosopher's stone, I present to you the transmutation table. Wow, okay. So many things just got easier. First things first, we need to get these fuels out of the way. Just insert those first thing. Oh yeah, and another recipe for the philosopher's stone is an interdiction torch. So I also made that. Don't really remember what they're used for, but we have them now. Oh, and why could you not place that, like, on the wall? What? Anyways, we don't need this crafter anymore, I don't think. Yeah, don't need that interface. And you know what's cool? The 6th degree of neutral steel actually has EMC. So you know I will be grabbing that. Interfaces have EMC. Look at that. Of course, we can dupe all the matters now. And look at this. Terra steel is absolutely insane for EMC. One full inventory is about 1 billion EMC like that. That is awesome. Alright, and check this out. 16 million storage cells. And we have 6 drives full of them. Oh, actually, I missed a few. But yeah, I used an IO port to move all the stuff. And it's safe to say we're not going to have storage problems for a while. And yeah, I think with EMC finally unlocked, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the episode here. Actually, I should probably show this. This is the stuff that I'm duplicating with EMC. And that list will certainly expand in between the episodes. Actually, I'm hoping next time we can come back and start looking at some of these creative items. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll come back next time to do all of that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. But for now, though, have a great rest of your day.